Good morning. We're back. I moved the 8RX back into the corner there next to the 8300. Cleared up some space in the front of the shop here. We're gonna go get a semi truck and bring it in. So I'm gonna go get that. We've got some work to do to it. We're just gonna let that pretty one sit right there. We're gonna let this one sit here. Hopefully somebody comes and buys it soon so we can get it out of here. And if it takes too much longer, we'll have to put it somewhere else, but it is what it is. So anyway, let's go get a semi truck. Well, it was none too happy about it, but it did start. I did not have it plugged in. It's not horribly cold out today, but it's not warm. All right. Well, you guys don't get to see truck maintenance videos very often because I don't do very much truck maintenance. But we're going to work on this one a little bit. I should wash it and clean it up. I might do that. We're not going to do it right now. But there's the fuel tank gauge sending unit is inside there. This truck has given us all kinds of trouble. We keep breaking them off in there, or they're not reliable. They quit working, whatever. Anyway, this one broke. The thing fell apart. Phil taped it up, put a rag in there, taped it so it wouldn't spill fuel everywhere. But he did get a new sending unit for that, but it's the style from the Cascadia, and it's a single piece. I don't know. It's over there somewhere. Anyway, it won't go in. We can't get it in the tank unless we drill a hole in the floorboard of the truck or we take the tank off. And since we have these messed up steps that are all bent up and our straps need replaced, well, we might as well just take the tank off, replace our straps, clean it out, get all the stuff out from inside of it, and put the new fuel sending unit in, and then put it all back on with new straps and put the steps back on. So that's the plan here and what we're going to do. I don't know how much is involved, how many lines we've got to worry about taking off. I see a couple down there, a wire harness and a line up on top there, so maybe not too terrible to do. First thing we're going to do is get some penetrating oil and start spraying all the bolts down so we can get this thing apart. Oh, maybe not this one. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't work. I got the steps taken off. Problem, she's real full. Like 3/4 of the way full or more. So we're gonna have to go get our transfer tank and see if we can't figure out how to pump the fuel out of here, because it's going to be heavy. There's no way I'm going to move that thing around the way it is. I don't want to take the straps off with fuel in it. And yeah. So how do I get it out of there is the problem. Got our fuel tank. Well, now the trick becomes, how do we get the fuel out of there? I've got a tube set up. We can siphon it for a while, but I don't think we'll get it all that way, so I'm not sure. But we're going to start with this and see how it goes. Well, while our fuel is siphoning out there, we've got another project on this truck. We've got to replace a mirror. This is the driver's side mirror. This bracket is broken, and it was getting loose and wobbly, and so we're going to... Yeah, I don't know if that bolt I don't think is supposed to be there, but we're going to take this one off and, yeah, see what we got to do to put the new one on. It should be pretty straightforward and easy, I think. Well, it wasn't too hard to get off of there. A few bolts and a couple wire harnesses. She definitely broke. So the new one will bolt right up there. Problem is it doesn't match. It doesn't match. So I painted this semi-truck a few years ago, and our mirrors are not black like the new one. They're gray. And they're pretty, but no, they don't match. Oh well, I guess. Oh well. I think I still got some of the paint. I could paint it if I really wanted to, I suppose. It's over there on the shelf somewhere. Probably no good anymore. There, how about that? I had to screw around with a different hose. The other one I had was too short and it quit siphoning. I'm pretty sure it's still flowing, but I don't know how I'm going to know if it's not, because I don't think it'll be able to suck air. It'll just stop moving and you can't really tell. So I don't know. There was still half a tank of fuel. I got a stick and dipped it in there to see. So we did move a fair amount, but there's still some more to do. So we'll let that go for a while. I got this mirror mounted up there. I did look. The can of paint that I used, this gray color that's on the rest of the mirrors and the bumpers and stuff, which I really liked, especially when it's clean. The can's over there, but it doesn't feel like there's anything in it. So, oh well. Yeah, that's on there. So I got to hook up the electrical connections. There's an antenna that goes up there on the top, and then a trim piece that goes on the door, and the mirror side of it is done at least. And then we just got to wait for our fuel to transfer before we can start taking connections and stuff apart there and taking those straps off. The new straps, I ordered them yesterday. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. I tried calling a local place or two to see if they had anything on hand, and no, they don't. So, fine. I just order them online and they'll show up in 2 days, and yeah, it is what it is. What?
Has he been having problems with setting it in the tank?
Oh, well, we're having power issues. He said it was being sluggish going up hills and stuff. So, anyway, Brock's here. Hi, Brock. And he's got the tape patch that we had on there taken off, and we're pulling the old sending unit that you can see a hole through because it's broken out. We're still siphoning, I think it's still moving, but we're not going to get it all out of this tank, so I'm trying to debate how we're going to finish draining this. The idea is to take the tank off and be able to clean it out a little bit, tip it upside down, rinse it, swish it around. So we got to get all the fuel out of it. I'm thinking maybe we can set this transfer tank off to the side and put the forks underneath there and then take the straps off, and then we could lift it up, and there is a drain plug on the bottom, and we could put a funnel on and just funnel the rest of it in there, and that should work, I think. At least that's my idea. So we'll see if this thing pulls out of here and what it looks like. I don't know if that's just the cover or if the actual there's used to be, yep. So there's an arm that's supposed to go on there that floats and tells it how full the tank is, and well, it's fallen off into the tank, and we were kind of wondering if our sluggish issues wasn't that blocking up the draw tube or something, and it gets in the wrong spot and then it can't get fuel or something. I don't know. That's why we're taking it off to clean it up. I'm not sure what the last thing I filmed was. It's been a while, but I just got back from lunch. It's a nice day out. It's actually fairly warm. Nice. Brock's working on stuff. Think he's filmed anything? I doubt it. Brock, have you filmed anything? Yep, no. So while we were waiting for that tank to drain, Brock changed oil in my dad's truck and serviced that for him. And did it stop flowing?
Yeah, we got.
How much fuel we got? Oh, well, that's not so bad. All right, so we're getting this broke loose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we can't get in there, can you?
Nope.
Too deep?
Well, we can get into this with a wrench, but not that one up there. You can't.
Okay. So the idea here is we're going to take these straps off and hold the tank with the forklift, and then lift it up and pull the plug on the bottom to drain the rest of the tank out of there, and then we can roll it around a little bit more. But yeah, we got to get that loose. All right. So we got the tank almost emptied. We got the stuff off the back. There are a couple of hoses in the back there that we need to get off. And Brock's got that bracket on the back loosened up. We've got it supported good with the forklift. Problem is there's no way to get in here on this bolt to get it loosened up and get that nut off. The bolt is too deep for our deep well sockets. We got an impact one there, and I tried this one, and they just don't quite reach. I can't move it with that wrench. I don't have enough of a leverage and a good way to lift on it, so I can't loosen it up with that. So I think what we're going to do is actually cut this strap right here. We're going to replace it anyway. That's what's broken. And so if we just cut that off, then we'll at least be able to get it out of there and get room to work on stuff and get our fuel tank off. It doesn't help us getting it put back on correctly, but once we get it apart and we can clean it up, it should go back together easier than it comes apart. So that's the plan, I think. Well, it's loose now. All right, get those lines off of there, and then we'll take that last strap off and back it out. All right, well, we got it loose. Those straps are off. Back it out of there. Back out. It's in the cradle. Okay. Sweet. All right, now we gotta figure out how to get them straps off the rest of the way, get that bracket dealt with, and then maybe clean stuff up a little bit, but we can't do anything until we get the new straps that are supposed to come tomorrow, but it'll probably be the afternoon, so yeah. All right, so yeah, I've got a funnel set up here. We're gonna attempt to get this plug out and let it drain into there, and I'm really hoping two things don't happen. One, I don't drop the plug, because it'll go in the tank and we'll never get it back. And two, it doesn't overflow. I don't know how much is in here, and I don't know how much room we've got in there, but that one's getting about full, and this is slowly getting about empty, so hopefully it works out. One thing didn't happen. We didn't drop the plug, so that's a good start. It hasn't overflowed yet, but it's still flowing. There's a lot in there. Well, the second of those bad things did in fact happen. We overflowed our tank a little bit. So I put the plug back in real quick. Now we're trying to use up some diesel fuel. So we're filling up the power washer, which, you know, on-road fuel in the power washer, it's expensive. But whatever, it's fine. It's no big deal. And we filled up a can here. Kinda. No, we didn't. Brock, why didn't you fill that up? We're gonna fill up a can. That should get us 10, 12 gallons. That should be enough. I think it was about empty, but hard to tell. For sure. I don't know. Of course, we could just be smart about this and pump it into the other tank. There's no crossover tube, so it's not like they... Yeah, that'll work. Do that. We made it. I'm confused as to how there was so much in this tank, and that one, we had to put 20 or 30 gallons in there at least. If they're 120 gallon tanks, and that holds 100, and it's at least 100, maybe 105, 110, then how could we have needed to take that much out of there in order to get this tank empty? It's like they weren't full even, and this one was, I don't know, whatever. It's about empty, just a little drip, so we'll let that continue to drain, and then we can do a little clean in on it. You gonna polish this for me, Brock? What? It'll never be easier than right now.
Unless you don't do it. Then that's pretty easy.
We're at least gonna clean it up. I got some aluminum bright polisher stuff.
It'd probably be easier to polish it and shine if there wasn't a big dent on the other side.
Well, that would be true if there, but you know.
I wonder about that gap or anything.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We got a couple dents. We're not gonna worry about those because they don't matter. Okay, now we got it empty. Okay, see those pieces laying over there? Those are the old broken fuel sending units. Are there more? Can't tell. Got to get some light in there somehow. So, we got to figure out how to get them out of there, which is not easy. All right, well, we got it off there and empty and everything, and decided to try and fish out the broken pieces. And look how many we got. There's at least 3, 4. We got 4 floats. So we've broken at least 4 of them off in there. And that would make you wonder, why do these keep breaking? I have an answer for that. Can you guys see in there? You can't, but maybe in a second you will. You see that big round thing there that's laying horizontal that shouldn't be and it's all scratched up? That is the baffle. And it's loose and just kind of floating in there. And I'm sure that it's sloshing around and breaking our sending units off. So that means we have a couple of options. We can do a few different things here. So we could A, put it back on there, use the new type of fuel sending unit that's substantially more robust, see if it holds up to a baffle banging into it and for how long. We can B, put it back on there, plug the hole up for the fuel sending unit, not have a fuel gauge, which it hasn't been working half the time anyway, right? We can C, buy a new tank that would have a good baffle and put it on there. Or D, we can try and take this to a local welding shop that does aluminum welding, have them see if they can cut it open, weld the baffle back in place, and weld her back shut, and then put it back on. I don't know. We're going to see what Phil wants to do. That's what I'm leaning towards, is having them try and fix it. Should be cheaper than a new tank. And, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Brock's going to power wash this tank off a little bit, try and clean it up. If we do have him fix it, or try and... You want it off? To weld on it, then they're going to want it relatively clean, so... We'll clean it up as best we can, make a decision. It's better. Now buff. Ah, come on, man. I'm sure we've got some aluminum polish somewhere. I've even got a buffer. You don't even have to do it by hand. On a tank we don't even know if we're going to keep, right? Yeah, nah, no big deal. We aren't the super shiny chrome truck people that some people are, I guess. I don't know. I don't have that kind of time or patience. Which might seem odd after, you know, that yesterday, but that is like passion of mine. Trucks and fuel tanks are not, so is what it is. Look, we got another chemical delivery today. It's our sequence that we paid for in September, and I was getting nervous we weren't going to get it because it's got glyphosate in it, and if you know anything about the glyphosate market right now, you can't get it. So Brock's gonna get that unloaded and put away for us. That's good. I'm glad to have that. So did a little cleaning inside the cab on that new tractor there. There was just some stones and dirt and stuff on the floor mat, so I cleaned that up, took the cardboard off the floor, took the plastic off the main seat. I know it's used now, the plastic's off the seat, but it's super uncomfortable to sit on, so I left it on the buddy seat for now. And I left the plastic covering on the floor mat. It has a carpeted floor mat in there, so I left the plastic on that for now. Yeah, it'll be fine. So I'm gonna call about seeing if that welding place will work on this tank or not. I don't know if that's something they would do. Well, we'll find out. Okay, Brock got our chemicals unloaded there, and we're kind of sort of at a standstill on this project now. I called about this tank, and they absolutely can do it and fix it. Cut the end off, weld the baffle back in, weld the end back on. He said, how quick do you need it? And I said, well, I mean, I don't have to have it this week, but it would be nice, quicker the better. And he said, how's a month? And I'm like, oh, I don't know about a month. So we're going to take it to him tomorrow, and they said maybe 2 to 3 weeks we'd be able to get it back, which... Okay, fine. We don't really need this truck right now because we've got the other one back, but I can't have this sitting here for 3 or 4 weeks. So we need to find out whether we can cap this suction and return line that went to that fuel tank, or pinch them off or something, and start the truck and drive it and run it the way that it is with only one tank, or if we're going to have to tow it around, which means we've got to figure out how to release the brakes and a whole 9 yards. But yeah. Sounds like that's going to be our option, is get this fixed and wait on it. So what are you going to do? I am catching up on my daily reading. I found a typo in the 8RX manual. Well, not really a typo so much as a non-update from the last version of this book. So we're reading about 3-point hitch and the quick couplers, and the quick coupler on that tractor is convertible from category 4N to category 3, and you have to change the hooks around to do so. And right up here, when you're talking about changing the upper hook, it says when full power is used on 8370R or 8400R tractors. That is not what this book is for. 8RX. And they don't make an A400, so that should say 8R370 or 8410 or 8R410. Yeah, Come on, John Deere. Okay, well, I am heading home. Thanks for watching today. We're going to take that fuel tank to the welding shop tomorrow, let them fix that up for us whenever they can get to it. And see what else we can find to work on. Probably have to figure out how to drag that truck out of there and stuff. So I did have a few questions. Guys were asking about the 8RX and comparison of ground pressure versus tires and compaction and stuff. I found a really nice document that John Deere put out that kind of describes all of that and talks about it. I don't have time tonight, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow a little bit. I'll show you some of the numbers on there and how it compares to the wheel tractors. That tractor's heavy. That 8RX it's not a light machine, so but the tracks make a bigger difference than you might think. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, questions, comments, leave them down below. Check it out. I just left the farm. Home already. How awesome is that?